Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Suresh from Is a Monkey coming at you guys with another episode of Let's Check Out Some Diecast. In today's video, we are going to be doing some crazy, mindless DLM freeing the piece on all these Matchboxes that I've been picking up from stores in the past few months. So I have about 20-25 cars here. So lots of nice models, lots of newer 2025 mixes. So it's a little bit of everything. So let's dive right into it. Okay, here we go. So I'm not going to be opening these in any specific order, although I did create two batches. One was a 2024 card and the others the 2025 mixes, right? So with regards to card art, there are some visible differences wherein this is 2024 card art, 2025 card art. So visibly, the directions of the vehicles on the card art has flipped over to the other side, and the labeling, right? So that's a 2022 Jeep Wagoneer, and this is a 1983 Ford Fiesta Mark IV, right? Sorry, Mark II. I couldn't tell it from that from the angle. So, and also earlier we used to have the 97 out of 100, the numbering on the lower right corner, I should say, and now it's on the top right corner, right? So this is predominantly the differences in the cards between the last two year, between last year and this year, and with regards to the back of the card, I don't see any huge differences at all, right? Very minor differences. So, all right. So having said that, I will set the camera back on the stand and let's start opening these up. So this one is from 2024. It's a new model for 2024. We have a 2022 Jeep Wagoneer. So it was, what the strange fact is, I found some 2025 mixes ahead of finding some of the later mixes of 2024. I think, Matchbox distribution was a little off with the timing or whatever. Okay, so these two were part of the same mix, and I thought this was nice then and now kind of a series, because this is also a new model for 2024, but this is the 1964 Jeep Wagoneer, right? So this is a vintage counterpart of this car, right? So that one's 1964 and this one's a 2022 Jeep Wagoneer. So that was pretty cool. And then up next, we have a 1980 AMC Eagle. So I found these short cards at my local Dollar Tree store. And, these short cards are very seasonal, I guess. And up next, we have a beautiful 2019 Volkswagen Beetle Convertible, looking stunning in that yellow. And, I hope you guys are able to catch that. There's a very small amount of like a microscopic metal flake there, right? So it's much denser and tinier than your usual metal flake, but it really makes the model stand out. So that's a fun addition to the Beetle collection. Up next, we have another new model for 2024, and this is the 1985 Nissan Pathfinder. So I thought, hey, that's a pretty cool looking model. So that was fun. And up next, we have a 95 Nissan Hardbody D21. Now, one of my diecast friends, Nishan Selvam, is a huge fan of this casting. So I'm hoping to pick one more when I see this, so that I can send him. So this one goes out for you, Nishan. Wow, check that purple out. We have a 2021 Volkswagen Golf GTE. Again, another new model for 2024. Wow, that purple really pops, and I hope you guys are seeing this metal flake, right? You see it when the light hits it at that angle. All right. Up next, we have another short cord. But interesting fact is that it's a new model for 2024. We have a 2022 Opel Astra, a black and yellow casting, so pretty coloring, a black and yellow coloring, I should say. And this one almost looks like a separate part, but I don't know what's the deal with that. Yeah, I think it's just the way the casting is. Maybe, I think the original casting, this could be like a, a removable, convertible kind of a deal, right? So, all right. So there we have the Opel Astra. And that's what the tailplate also reads. GG Opel Astra. All right. There we have it. And up next, we have another new model for 2024, the 1963 Mercedes-Benz 230 SL. I was like, wow. Okay, so pretty cool model. And I think this one is making a reappearance in 2025 when we get to that mix. And up next, we have a Ford Police Interceptor sporting a very, very famous Forest Ranger deco. So Matchbox, right? So Matchbox, we have pretty consistently been seeing some repeating decos, and some of these decos have like a huge fan following, right? So one of them is this Forest Ranger deco, right? So these were designed by the legendary Hot Wheels / Matchbox designer Michael Heralda. You can find his designs having the code word as Adlar 58. So originally, these started off with these characteristic green, right? And there's like a more minty green on the national parks. And over years, these two decos have become two of the most celebrated, Matchbox collections, so it's pretty cool. So let me set that there. Up next, we have like a pop culture alert. So this one is from Indiana Jones, right? So, and the casting itself is called a Matchbox Tangers Tuk Tuk, right? So I'm not sure if this has a relevance to Thailand. I mean, like, does this movie happen in Thailand or something? So, this reminds me of, India, wherein, we have a very similar public transport system, and it's called the auto, right? It's called the auto, which is like short for auto rickshaws, right? Because these are not like, people driven by people, like in the old days, but instead, they're automated rickshaws, like motor driven, right? So pretty cool moving part there. I didn't honestly realize that it had a moving part. So pretty cool, right? So gave me very fond memories of, childhood. So, autos are still a very popular way to get around, South India, I guess. All right. So another new model for 2024, we have the 2022 Infiniti QX80. There we have it. Pretty solid looking model. I really like the, like the sturdy build on this one, right? You definitely kind of gotta appreciate those details for that, price point, right? Nice, robust looking car, right? Okay. Up next, we have 2019 McLaren 720S Spider. Now, we have seen, earlier releases of this in like a beautiful lemon green, lemon yellow, things like that. So I thought this would be like a nice addition to the set. So pretty stunning in purple, that McLaren. So it's a McLaren 720S Spider. Spider meaning that it's like an open convertible model. Okay. Up next, we have another new model for 2024, and this is the Morgan Plus 4, right? Wow. Superb vintage car, very beautiful looking curves. I mean, reminds me of a Jaguar B-type, right? So Morgan, like let me get that right. Morgan number 4, I think that's what it's called. I mean, I ripped it a little too. Morgan plus 4, that's what it's called, right? Wow. I mean, very, very vintage looking casting right there, right? Reminds us of old school Lesney castings, right? So how Matchbox started back in the days. Up next, we have a pretty beautifully colored 2022 Porsche Macan, right? Wow, that orange really pops out of the casting, and it's pretty much, a very close, match to the Matchbox trademark orange. So, that was another reason why I picked this up. And, obviously, yeah, I am a sucker for Porsches in Matchbox. So definitely had to pick that up. Up next, we have, so I think this one is, this is where the 2025 mix starts, right? All right, so a pretty good start to 2025. This is a 70 Datsun 510 Rally, right? So probably you guys know this, but for the benefit of some of those who may not, so this is a pretty cool casting. This has a nice piece of history in it. So I mean, John Lambert from the Lamley Group has spoken about this. He says how Matchbox took this one casting, and in every recolor of this casting, they would basically put an Easter egg that refers to one of the Matchbox ambassadors, right? So in here, it is. I'm just like trying to find out who it is. It says Risto Tan Turbos. Usually, there is a name of. So there you see, you have Lamley. That's Lamley's symbol. You see that? So so this could possibly be John's car, right? So throughout the history of this particular casting, whenever it's been released in Matchbox, it has always carried the name of one of the Matchbox ambassadors. I think I have every single one of them. Possibly, that might be a good candidate for a future video. So let's see. But I mean, it would be redundant because I think Lamley also covered it. He may not have had some of the more recent models in that video, but let's see. I'm able to find it, and I might be able to build on that. All right. So up next, we have a 2024 Fiat Topolino. I mean, this car looked very unique, and I have no regrets in saying it also looked cute, right? So check that out. It reminds me of there's this particular BMW casting. I can't remember the name. So that one also used to be like a very small pint-sized car like this, right? So and it was popularized by Schuko. So when I saw this, I immediately kind of like thought of that car and had to pick this up. So a Fiat Topolino. That's what this car is, and I'm pretty sure this is not like a new casting. This at least like the second or third time we might be seeing this casting. All right, I will set that there. New model alert for 2025. We have a 2024 Ford Explorer BEV. So typically that designation means that it's an electric car. Wow. One thing I can tell about the 2025 cards is that, the glue is pretty strong, right? I'm really working to get the cars out of the packaging. So there we have the 2024 Ford Explorer BEV. So, gives a lot of electric vibes in there, right? So that finish and everything, and Explorer for the tailplate. All right, let's set that there. Here we have it. You remember when we opened this casting, I said this is making a reappearance in 2025. So this is the remake. So 1963 Mercedes-Benz 230 SL. And, it definitely looks beautiful in that, opalescent white. and it is definitely, you know, looking stunning in that gold, right? So for someone who collects castings, you know, like companion castings, and who likes to have all the recolors, this is definitely a good addition to your set. All right, so let me set them there. And up next, we have a pretty cool looking 1983 Ford Fiesta Mark II. So, you know, I mean, fun fact is that, you know, back home, I mean, I grew up in India, and, you know, back home, one of the very popular models of cars growing up was called a Maruti Suzuki, right? So it used to be called as Maruti, the heartbeat of India. That's what Leo Mattel, back in the days when Leo Toys had Mattel's license or something like that. I guess that's how the story goes. So they had like a beautiful Maruti Suzuki casting, and that says Maruti, the heartbeat of India. So, you know, this reminded me of number one, the Maruti Suzuki, and number two, a Volkswagen Golf, right? But then I kind of like, I actually had one Volkswagen Golf casting to be opened, but I can't find it now. Maybe I'll pause the video and I'll go fetch it. Yeah, but this also kind of like brought me solid memories of like a Volkswagen Golf, right? So a pretty beautiful casting, nice execution, but for that, you know, eyesore of a column that goes in the rear passenger seat. You see that? I'm not sure if you guys see it. So here in the front, you know, it's a see-through, right? But in the back, that is where the top of the casting is basically drilled to the bottom. So that's like a column, you know. I mean, I don't know how Matchbox might work around that, but it definitely kind of like is definitely an eyesore when it comes to, you know, appreciating the beauty of these castings. Anyway, up here we have a 2023 Alfa Romeo Tonale, right? Now, I don't understand, you know, if my memory is foggy or something like that. I don't remember seeing this in the previous year. So I'm surprised why it does not have that, you know, badge that says new model for 2025. So I think I probably gotta go jog my memory and find out if I have previous releases of this car. But anyway, here we have the 2023 Alfa Romeo Tonale, looking pretty stunning in metal flake green, and that Alfa Romeo grille and everything. Pretty cool. Yeah, that's nice. Tonale. I think that's what it says. Tonale. Yeah. Yep. All right. Let's set that there. And up next, we have a 1941 Plymouth Coupe. Check that vintage sign of a Plymouth right there. Okay. Definitely looking very vintage, all those legacy contours and stuff like that. But other than that, a pretty simple execution, I should say. All right, let's set that there. And up next, we have a 2020 Mercedes-Benz CLA shooting brake. I've been meaning to find out what that shooting brake specification stands for. Maybe I'll do it next time. So there we have it. Pretty simple looking Benz, but nice work for that price point. Definitely a nice add to the Lucy's collection, I guess. And up next, we have a Citroen EC4. I'm not sure if that is Citroen's designation for electric vehicles, but it definitely looks pretty electric to me, right? Yeah, Citroen. All right, so this one is a Citroen EC4. Okay, and I think this was possibly the last one if I'm not able to find that Volkswagen Golf. This is a new model for 2025, and this is the Matchbox Field Car Convertible, right? So this is not like a licensed casting, but I picked it up because it has all the beautiful deco of Matchbox. So earlier, they used to have a Matchbox Field Car. Let me just try and get it. Well, I think I got lucky. It doesn't happen that often, you know, when I actually leave to find something and I actually find it. So this one is the Matchbox Field Car, and as you can see, it has like a closed roof and everything. And this one is a convertible version of it. So I think Matchbox took an older casting and made a new tooling by removing the hood off. Anyway, so I think this is one of Matchbox's in-house designs, and this one is a part of the 70th special edition celebrations of Matchbox. I think that was like either last year or no, 2023. I had been kind of like putting all of these in a pile, hoping to do a like a themed video, but yeah, that's a future project. Anyway, there we have the Matchbox Field Car convertible. Definitely, for someone who likes the brand a lot, I mean, this is definitely like a pretty cool casting that carries the Matchbox deco. Right, and I also got lucky locating this Volkswagen Golf Country. Now, this one belongs to the off-road rally series, but among all of the cars, this was the only one that I picked up. So there was this series has a Chevy Colorado Extreme, a Jeep 4x4, a Volkswagen Golf Country, a 1976 Scout 4x4, a 1968 Toyota Land Cruiser FJ40, and a Ridge Raider. Now, I think some of these castings are like exact repeats, just the same cars in new card backs and stuff like that. So I skipped most of the series, but this Volkswagen Golf Country is definitely like very unique to this series. So I picked this one up. So yeah, so the reason I kind of like thought about this was when we were checking this Ford Fiesta Mach 2, right? So yeah, it has a lot of, Volkswagen Golf vibes. There are definitely certain differences that stand out, but overall, right? I mean, when you look at the contours and everything, they definitely look very similar. So anyway, that's pretty much all the DLM we get for today, I guess. So hope you like the content. Till I meet you guys next time with another video. This is Suresh signing off. Rock on and stay awesome, you guys. Bye.